I am Priyanka Sharma. I will be taking chapter number 2 of biology class 12. Okay. Now the chapter number 2, that is sexual reproduction in flowering plant. In flowering plant. Okay, this is your chapter number 2, sexual reproduction in flowering plant. Now first we will see with the heading. First, whenever you start reading with your chapter, you need to know what is sexual reproduction in flowering plant. So sexual reproduction means sexual reproduction. So sexual reproduction is a result of reproduction between two gametes, that is one male gamete and other is female gamete. Or other thing you can say that when a haploid gamete fuses to result in diploid gametes. Okay, so your haploid means N, diploid means 2N. Okay, this is N and 2N. So single haploid gamete, that is one male gamete and a female gamete. Okay, haploid when both male and female, when these two fuses to form a diploid, that is can say a progeny, then it is called as what? Sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction occurs between two individual or two gametes. Now in this particular chapter, sexual reproduction you would have understood with the definition part. Next is in flowering plant. Now in a flowering plant, we will see with where or which particular organ is involved in sexual reproduction. So in this particular chapter, flowering plant has an organ named flower. Okay, I hope introduction is clear with all. First we have seen with only heading, we have just explained part. Okay, heading सिर्फ हमने देखा है. In that we have seen it. What does the meaning sexual reproduction mean? Then we have seen that the flowering plant is having what? It is having a organ named flower. So sexual reproduction we will see in flower. Okay. Now we will say with flower. Okay. So flower is what? It is a sexual reproductive part or organ in a flowering plant. Flowering plant are also called as what? They are also called as angiosperm, and non-flowering plant are called as gymnosperm. Okay, angiosperm. This all basic term you might have studied in 10th. Okay, in 10th standard also we have a chapter named How Do Organism Reproduce. Okay, those things. Now flower, it is about a reproductive. Flower is a reproductive organ. Okay, of what? It is a reproductive organ of a flowering plant. Now flower consists of 4 valves. Okay, before seeing with the 4 valves, we will see with the diagram of it. Okay, we will see the diagram how a flower looks. I think in your textbook the more difficult diagram is given, but I would like to teach you the simplest way how you can draw the diagram of a flower. First you start with this part, then simply you draw a big line. Once you draw a big line, this is what? A stalk. Then a structure like this, and this is formed. Now from here you draw a straight line. Okay, ऐसे आपको draw करनी है line. one more line, and like this, and this is how a simplest way of diagram you can draw. आपकी बुक में if you see in 12th standard book थोड़ा complicated diagram is there. In that think like this is there. उसमें कुछ ऐसे draw करना है, फिर simply you have to join like this. But exam में you are always hurry, आप एकदम जल्दी जल्दी में लिखते हो सब. So for that the easiest way, the easiest diagram I am telling you, this is how you can draw. Okay. Now see, this is how. This is, I think you can say this particular flower looks similar like hibiscus. Okay, sir, hibiscus की तरह दिखता है, similar. Okay. Hibiscus, I think you know, in Gujarati and Hindi the other term is given. This is somewhat similar to, मैं आपको एग्जाम्पल दे सकती हूँ कि ये किसकी तरह दिखता है, जो आप गणेश जी को चढ़ाते हैं ना रेड कलर का फ्लावर, वैसा कुछ दिख रहा है मुझे. आई होप यू आर ऑल्सो हैविंग द सेम थिंग. नाउ ये मैंने यहाँ पे अलग से कुछ ड्रॉ किया है, एंड हियर अगेन आई एम ड्राइंग विद द डिफरेंट वन. आई विल टेल यू लेटर ऑन व्हाई आई एम डूइंग विद द डबल चॉक, एंड अगेन आई एम ड्राइंग विद द certain round part. These are ovules. So this particular part which I have drawn in different color chalk, this is a part of female part. Okay, I will draw over here. This color represents female part, and the yellow color one, okay, this represents male part of a flower. Okay. Now we have said that flower is what? It is a reproductive organ. So for reproduction requires two individuals, though gametes are being required. That gametes are male and female. So hibiscus is an example of a flower which consists of both male and female part in a single flower. Okay. Now we will see with first female part. In female part, first this one is called as stigma. Okay. Then the long slender tube like structure is called as style. And the third one, this pink color oval shaped structure is called as ovary. And the small dotted seeded like structure are called as ovules. Ovules are the part of ovary only. So female part of flower consists of what? Three main things, that is stigma, style and ovary. Now we will see the male part of a flower. So male part of a flower consists of I will draw the male part. For this you need to draw this also in a straight line. So the round part, and see this male part of a flower consists of only two things. ये जो आपको दिख रहा है, this whole thing, that is called as stamens. Okay. And stamen consists of two things. This round part is called as anther, and the anthers are attached to a long slender stalk like structure which is called as filament. So here you can say that stamen consists of two main parts, that is anther and filament. Okay. So we are done with the reproductive organ. I hope you all would have understood this particular diagram. Simple सा diagram है. For more decoration part, you can just add few lines on it. This will show the diagram of a flower. Okay. We can't say exactly it is looking like hibiscus, but it is somewhat similar to that particular thing. Now, I have told you only in this simple diagram male part and female part of a flower. Female part of flower consists of three main things: stigma, style and ovary. This particular part of the board I have written regarding female part, and this side I have written male part of a flower. So, male part consists of only two things, that is anther and filament. Now, we will see which each part of male and female in detail. I hope this basic structure is understood by all. Okay. This basic structure you might have studied in 10th also. In 10th standard also you are having this particular diagram. Okay. Just recall your 2 years back part. So, first we will start with, I will just write an overview, or I can say in chart form how we can draw this, or how we can pictorically represent the male part and female part of a flower. Okay. Now, flower, it consists of two main things. This is the easiest way to remember the reproductive organ of a flower. Okay. So, flower consists of male and female. Okay. Flower is what? There are certain flowers which have only male part in them, and there are certain flowers which consist of only female part in them, but this particular example of hibiscus consists of both male and female part in them. Okay. So, for stamen, for this male part we have seen as it consists of two things, and same way over here we have seen that it consists of three main parts. So, male part of a flower consists of anther and filament. This I am repeating it twice so that it would be easier for you to remember. We will start with stigma only, because stigma are present at the top. Stigma, then immediate layer below the stigma comes style, and then at the lower part of a flower, or you can say at the base, have presence of other structure of female part of flower, that is ovary. In this particular diagram if you see, they are present at the base, and this particular base on which the ovary is being attached, that is called as thalamus. Okay. Thalamus. But this thalamus has sometimes presence of this small structures, sharp thin like structure which are similar to leaf. This small thin like structure are called as sepals. They are the other accessories of a flower. Okay, they are not considered under reproductive organ. Okay, they are the accessory part in which it consists of sepals. Sepals and thalamus are not the reproductive part of a flower. Okay, so this was the remaining part in this. I hope you all would have got with this particular part. Now, first we will see with only male part of a flower. So, in that we will see with stamens. If you see in your textbook, it is written same way. Immediately after the diagram, they have something regarding stamens, microsporangium, and they have something written as a heading called pollen grain. Okay. Now, the things you have studied over here, same thing you have to explain it over here. Now, anther. First we will see with the anther. When you are explaining this particular part, you have to say that stamens are, they are what? They are similar to stalk like structure. They are stalk, you can say stalk over here. See, stalk means what? Something which are arranged in group. So, here you can see in this particular diagram group of stalks present, and this all stalks are what? Stamens. Okay. 5 मीटर. Okay. So stamens are what? They are the stalk-like structure comprises what? It comprises anther and filament. So next we'll see with the structure of anther. Okay, we are going to see each in detail. So anther we'll see quickly. So anther somewhat looks like this. If you see, this particular diagram is given in your book. Anther, they are bilobed. Bilobed because they are having two lobes. दो lobes है यहाँ पे, एक this is first and this is second lobe. This bilobe structure, bilobed. So anther structurally they looked bilobed and they are also called as dithecous. Because they are called as dithecous. Why are they called? Because they have 4 lobes present inside it. 2 theca they have. Theca in the sense, when you again zoom out this particular part, one lobe if you zoom out, then it is somewhat like this in structure. ऐसा कुछ होता है structure of anther. So when you divide like this, it is having this type of structure. So this is called as one theca and this is other theca. So this theca comprises pollen sac. ऐसे sac present होते हैं and this particular sac, this sac like structure are called as what? This sac like structure are called pollen sac. Okay, this pollen sac during germination they secrete what? Pollen grain. Okay, so pollen grain are present in anther. You can see, so pollen grain are also called as what? Microspore. Okay, they are the microspore. This pollen grain are usually attached near stigma. So during pollination you will see the pollen grain travel with the help of pollination process, move on to again through style and then on it move on to the ovary and then it try to attach with the layer and then the fertilization starts. Okay, this is how the fertilization is being seen or how reproduction occurs. Okay, pollen tube formation, once the pollen tube are formed and then it moves on to the female bud, that is ovary. Pollen grain यहाँ पे जो present होते हैं वो travel होते हैं through the style and then it move on to this particular layer. जो entrance part है that is called as micropylar end or micropyle. Okay, this micropyle helps in fusion and it also helps in formation of 2 cells, generative cells and it is also one more cell called as vegetative. Okay, this we'll see further in the chapter. Okay, what are the things that are comprised in this? Okay, I hope you would have understood with the thing that I have told you now. Please don't forget, especially with the structure of flower and the anther diagram. Once you remember the anther, structure of anther, it would be easier for you to remember this. Okay, microspore, microsporangia, microsporangium, microsporangenesis, these are the all terms seen only in male part of a flower or microspore. It is also called as male gametophyte. Same way, if you study with the female part, then it is called as female gametophyte. Now we will see with the next one. Thank you.